Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. In this episode, we're going to kind of look inward, domestically, here in the United States, and I'm titling this Lessons of the Past. And I got to tell you, I've had the opportunity to look at some of the YouTube videos produced by the guy Bald and Bankrupt. So he goes to a lot of the former Soviet Union, and he visits a lot of these former republics, and obviously goes into other places in Russia as well, Belarus, Ukraine, and different the different Soviet republics. And he would often visit a lot of the parks and the infrastructure that was created by the Soviet Union. And if you look at a lot of these water features that were created, fountains and such, they're all empty now. They're not operating, and they're stagnant with no water and a lot of graffiti and not a lot of upkeep in these post-Soviet or Soviet Union parks and monuments that were created. And I guess I can understand that. We saw the collapse of the Soviet system, and a lot of these monuments, water features, fountains, what have you, were created by the Soviet Union, for the Soviet Union, and some of their accomplishments. And I can understand that fading by the wayside, especially when we saw the collapse of the Soviet Union. But recently, I was in Northern Virginia, and I decided to go to the Roosevelt National Memorial. It sets in between Washington, D.C. and Virginia. You can see D.C., Virginia over here. And here is the island. Beautiful, beautiful island. And you kind of park over here and you walk across this footbridge. And you have trails that go around the island. Obviously very, very lush and green. And in the center of it, there is the actual memorial. And right here is a big old statue of Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt. And around I guess you want to call it the square here, are water features. You have fountains here, you have fountains here, and then around it is kind of like this canal that runs in a circle, and there are bridges over it that kind of lead into the various trail systems. And I tell you, as I walked around the park, it reminded me of what I would see in those post Soviet Union memorials. And the reason I say that is the upkeep was fair. I would say there was no graffiti. There wasn't a lot of trash during my visit there, but the water features were completely empty, and the fountains were not running, and you could just tell they had not ran in a while. There was some trash, and obviously in the canals that circle it, but it just really reminded me a lot of what I saw in those post-Soviet videos, and very interesting. So apparently the pipes are corroded or something along those lines, and it just doesn't work properly, and they just might not have the money to fix it, and seem to have a lot of money for other things, but not Roosevelt Island at this point in time. And it just reminded me of kind of empires of the past. Here, I'm gonna do something real quick. Here, hear that? That is an American 50-cent piece. And at the time, in 1964 and before, these coins were 90% silver, and obviously the coins are no longer made out of silver. That ended in '64, and now your dimes, your quarters, your 50-cent pieces, your dollars are now a composite worthless metal that apparently even now is costing more to produce than their actual value. Like for the copper penny is no longer copper, and apparently that even costs more outside of the scope of even using copper to produce. Nickel, same. But just interesting how history tends to repeat itself. We go back to the Roman Empire, and we saw debasement. We saw coin clipping, and then finally you didn't clip coins anymore because the denarius wasn't made out of any precious metal. And it's kind of what we see now. And at what point does the U.S. dollar have more value as a heating element for your fireplace or toilet paper, because of the possible lack of toilet paper sometime in the future? I don't know. It's just, you look at that, you look at now the increasing price of gas, and it's not the cost of gas is going up, the value of gas is going up. The reality is your money is worth less, and that's the evil little secret of a debt-based currency, the likes of which we are using now. And there's an eventual end game for it. Eventually, the U.S. dollar will not exist, and I think you're kind of seeing the beginning stages of what we probably saw in the late Roman period, where we would eventually see the fall of the Roman Empire, the Republic. Now, will we the United States, enter into an imperial phase? It's hard to say. Are we already there? Maybe not. I don't know. But going in and seeing this park, this beautiful park that probably was incredibly beautiful when it was in its prime, and through the decay of the United States and lack of ability to upkeep infrastructure, this park is going by the wayside. And I can tell you too, just a quick comment going back many just several decades ago. We'll call it that. And going to Washington, D.C., I can remember going to the Capitol and walking into the Capitol, no problem. And you could go a lot more places back then, many decades ago, than you can now. And now you can't even get into a lot of these places out of quote unquote security needs and concerns. And I remember walking throughout the Capitol, just going in, and nothing was really needed, and walking right up to the main Senate room, and you could do that. And now you can't. There's a lot more security processes that restrict the American citizen from seeing these places that for many decades you could walk right in. It was the people's house, and I don't think it feels like that anymore. I think it feels like the government's house, so to speak. And same with the White House. You could take tours of the White House, and at one point you could just walk into the White House, and obviously that's no longer the case now as well. I can see things change, but I don't know. Have we gone too far one way? And I think again, just kind of seeing the park, the Theodore Roosevelt Memorial, and its upkeep. It's disconcerting at the very least. I can say that's kind of what we're seeing, or what I'm seeing. But anyway, wanted to do a piece on that. Probably should have shot a live video, and where you, the viewer, could see exactly what I'm talking about. And maybe I'll see if I have a picture of one of the pictures I've took of this, and I'll put that as a thumbnail. But wanted to talk about that. Would love to see your comments in the comment section, and thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon. Have a good day.